Yo, I'm telling you guys right now, you don't understand how excited I am. As a software developer, this is what I'm expecting to see. This is a problem out in these streets. Next gen simulations, take note. This is how you update an aircraft. Let's check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Flyland Guy. Welcome back to my channel. Man, it's been a couple weeks since I've actually physically flown an aircraft, man. Like I was on vacation, and well, it wasn't vacation. I was just out of town. But here I am. I'm back, and we are in the new and improved. And when I say new and improved, I mean absolutely that. The new and improved BN2 Islander by BlackBox Simulations. So, not only that, the sim has been updated. Microsoft Flight Simulator is now, they released Sim Update 5, which has brought a ton of improvements. One of them being a performance improvement. Like I could feel it already, just kind of being out here, just looking around. Everything just feels a lot smoother, and I haven't even like restarted my computer, which is something I normally do before I do a flight. I haven't done that this time, and I'm hoping that still get those good frame rates. So let's talk about the Islander for a second. We're gonna hop in the cockpit, and we're gonna get things sorted out. Just before we do that, we are back in San Salvador today in Bahamas. And we're going to be heading over to South Caicos. So we'll talk more about that flight as well once we hop in the cockpit. Let's go and do that. All right, so here we are in the Islander. I wanted to do a cold and dark setup today because there's been a number of things that have been improved, and one major thing which you're just not going to appreciate unless I do go from cold and dark. So let's see, just going over just quickly what the changes have been. So they added the landing gear effects for like wet weather, snow, dust, etc. They've also included environment occlusion for the cabin. Now, I don't 100% know what that means, so if somebody could hit me up in the description box, not in the description box, in the comments below, just let me know what that is. I was trying to look it up, but I didn't know, I couldn't find exactly what it was. I think it had something to do with shadows. I'm not 100% sure. They've also tweaked the engine performance, tweaked the throttle response, tweaked the CHT and EGT. Navcom tuning has been fixed. The fuel pressure gauge display has been fixed as well. So in these cases, I'm not 100% sure what the issue was, but it has been fixed. As well as CHT excessive cooling, that's been fixed. And then there was a typo in the manufacturer name somewhere. So this is actually over the course of, I don't know, probably the past few weeks, there's been probably like 4 updates to the aircraft. So that is always exciting. I'm always looking for updates. So they updated the aircraft. The working title team has updated the CJ4 aircraft as well. Small update though. So I'm going to be flying in that soon. Alright, so let's get this started. So one of the first changes that I've noticed, and they got these tooltips here. I don't know how I like them. I think they're a cool addition, especially if you're unfamiliar with the aircraft. But if you are, I'd say just disable them and just turn them on when you have a new aircraft and you're really trying to understand what all the switches and buttons do. But I'm going to leave it on for now because it's a small thing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the battery isolation switch. And one of the first big changes that I hear in this aircraft right now is this battery noise is now constant. So before, the battery used to like reach this pitch and then it'll go, so it'll keep going up and down like the battery is constantly being switched off. But now it is just absolutely steady. So in general, this is part of the big update that I'm talking about, where they've pretty much replaced like all the sounds in the aircraft now. So it sounds much better. Okay, so battery is on. We're gonna go ahead, get our nav lights on as well, and I will turn on the avionics. So we have, what is going on there? We have the, I'm just going to program the flight computer really quick, or the GPS really quick. Sorry, normally I do this ahead of time, but I want to do this code in dark. So if you want to skip past this part, you can go ahead and do that. And I might just fast forward as well. Alright, and we're back, folks. That took a little longer than I wanted it to, so my apologies for that. So what I've done is I've gotten our flight plan in. So we're just going to continue with what we normally do. So I've actually noticed even the noises for adjusting the instruments have been updated as well. So we're just going to set 11,000 as our cruising altitude today. Alright, so that is done. Now here's where things get a little interesting. Alright, so let's see, have that in. We can go ahead now and get our engine started. So I'm going to turn the beacon on, which is this guy here. All right. So one of the first big changes, well, the next big change after the battery, is the fuel pump. Before, these did nothing when you, well, they didn't cause any change to the sound of the aircraft. Now, let's get I believe these are supposed to come on too. Now you turn on the fuel pump. So there's nothing on that side. But now you switch on the left fuel pump. So you can actually hear the fuel pump going now. And it's also outside the aircraft as well. Now once again, as I said, I don't know how accurate that is to the real sound, but it's a vast improvement on what we heard before. Okay, so next thing, get our magnetos on. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Alright, now check this out. Here, folks, is where things get mighty crazy. Alright. I'm tingling right now. Okay, so we're gonna go and apply a little bit of throttle and just enjoy these engine sounds. Alright, they've been out of the way to make this amazing. Alright, right engine.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Oh, one sec, we'll try it again. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard seen my previous videos. This sounds 100% better than it used to, and it's gonna get even better when we actually get the engines nice and revved up. Let's just enjoy that sound for a quick second. Alright. Start the left engine. Hear this as well. Even your starter switch now, this makes a noise. So, we got both of the engines running now. Now, as usual, we're gonna move these. We're gonna increase our RPM to 4. We could bring back the throttle to idle. Do you guys hear that? This is crazy. Alright, so we're gonna get the landing lights on. Sorry, the taxi lights. And let's stay off. Generators could come on. Alright. Right now we are departing runway 10, which will be right to left for us, okay? So one last thing before we get moving that I'm so excited about. And remember what I said last time. One of the first complaints that I had about this plane was that when you open this window, there's no change in the engine noise. Well, I guess somebody was listening to me. Check this out. Oh, I could do this all day. Hopefully that doesn't crash it. Okay. I'm absolutely blown away, man. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna taxi for takeoff. Alright. And oh, that sounds amazing. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and taxi for takeoff. And let's just enjoy the sounds. Alright, hope you guys aren't too deaf now. But I just want you to just appreciate the sounds for what they are. Man, next gen simulations, take note. This is how you update your aircraft, alright? I almost don't want to go back to the Bandeirante now until they fix those engines, because this is just spoiling me right now. Okay, now let's focus back on the flight now. Let's get our flaps set for takeoff. And we're going to be, as mentioned, we're departing runway 10. And then it's going to be 163 nautical mile jog down to the first waypoint. So we'll discuss a few more things once we get in the air, alright? Let's go ahead, let's take off. Just in general, this is amazing, folks. Like the app, the application in general, Microsoft Flight Simulator, like the changes that they've done, the performance tweaks, like this is absolutely smooth for me right now. I don't even know the frame rates that I'm getting, but I can absolutely feel difference. Looking around definitely feels a lot smoother now. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch on the autopilot. I'm not really too feeling hand flying today, to be honest. Right up to speed. Let's do about 500 feet per minute. And switch on nav mode as well. Alright. So I don't know if probably in post-production I might have to turn down the engine noise or whatever, or turn on the game noise a little bit, because for me this feels really loud, but I also like that because this reminds me of being in the real aircraft. These little planes are loud and they're rickety and they shake around a lot. This is like a lot more, what's the word? It's giving me a lot better immersion, you know what I mean? So I almost feel like I need to shout a little bit so that you guys can hear me, but I'm not going to do that. Alright, so looking at windy.com, just going to bring that up so we can just have a quick look at the weather that we're dealing with right now. So All right. So we are pretty much out here, I believe. San Salvador. So it's like a rain and thunder. That's what I'm kind of interested in. And I think it's not looking too bad. We got a little bit of showers. There's some thunderstorm activity in the area. Let's see. Yeah. So we're gonna be kind of flying through that now. And we're pretty much heading down. I believe it's here. South Caicos, I believe, is this guy. So I gotta just double check that. Let's do the Navigraph. Easier. All right, no, South Caicos is here, so we're heading to this guy here. So it looks like once we get past this weather, there's not going to be too much going on there, so things should be very clear. And I mean, like, why is that surprising? I mean, we're in the Caribbean where the weather never gets bad. Nah, I'm just playing, but yeah, it should be a pretty decent flight overall. So as I mentioned, I've been gone for a couple weeks. So I just moved. I've been out to Ontario for about 2 weeks. Just needed a change of scenery. I've been stuck here in Halifax for a while, and like, it was good. I really enjoyed myself. I got some pre-recorded videos released. The last one came out Wednesday, August 4th. So anything after August 4th is going to be me back on my normal recording schedule, which is every like 3 days or so. I'm also happy to announce that I have crossed the 100 subscriber mark. I was going to do a special video for that, but I said, nah, screw it. I honestly don't feel like doing that. I'm too tired to do that right now. So, but I'm definitely really excited that the channel has actually grown to 100 subs. Took a little longer than I wanted for that to happen. I thought, well, me not knowing too much about YouTube, I thought that, you know, maybe a couple months will take that long, but especially this niche that we're in, the flight sim niche, it's not really very large. Well, it's large, but even the biggest or the more important or the most important YouTubers in the flight sim space don't really have extremely large channels. There's a couple of them with channels that are in the millions, but most that I've seen are normally, you know, 30, 40, 50,000. So I didn't really expect extremely fast, explosive growth, and I'm not really doing anything groundbreaking either to warrant getting those kind of numbers. But, you know, slow and steady, that's what I'm trying to do right now, and I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos. Setting my next goal to be 1,000 subs, and who knows how long that's gonna take. So I promise when I do that, I'm gonna do a face reveal for sure, so that, you know, people can see the face behind the voice. I mean, if you're a stalker or overly curious, if you go out there, you might have seen my face already. But yeah, I'm gonna do a face reveal after that, and so I'll be like a little more interactive than just posting videos. So we shall see how things go, folks. In the meantime, we are just crossing over the clouds. Not sure if I mentioned it already, but our flight time today is going to be about an hour and 40 minutes. And this will be the last flight before we hit level 5 in OnAir. And that's when things are really going to change a lot in terms of kind of what aircraft I'll be flying and what's going to be going on with these videos. So we're going to be starting a tour of Europe, so I'm excited about that. So we're going to be hopping into CJ4 and we're going to be doing a trip back up the east coast of the United States, and going to be crossing the pond over to Europe, and we're going to be exploring there for maybe a couple months, maybe more. It took me a good while to do the European World Tour, so I mean the North American World Tour, or North American Tour, so I can imagine Europe's going to be even more interesting. So I'm just excited to see what's out there. Should be really exciting, really interesting, and probably going to be having a lot of hard to pronounce airport names. So we shall see how things go. Then on top of that, there's a lot of different restrictions. You know, flight levels in Europe are going to be different from what they are in the States. So the transition altitudes are going to be different. It's pretty much 18,000 everywhere in the States, but that's going to change depending on where you are in Europe now. So I'm excited, man. Should be good to go. We're still going to be flying around the Caribbean. I'm going to probably be bouncing between this and the Umbrella 110, and then I'm also going to be doing some videos in the CRJ. And I think what I'm going to do is, once I've hit the next level, which is level 6 in OnAir, maybe I'll upgrade the aircraft again and then just start doing all my flights in the CRJ. I don't really know exactly what I want to do, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and take a break for a bit. When you guys come back, we'll be starting our descent into South Caicos, and we'll be doing the approach briefing and all that good stuff. Alright, so bear with me, folks. And let's have some fun today. Glad to be back. Alright, take care. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've started our descent into South Caicos, and man, this has been an extremely beautiful approach. Water masking in this area is amazing, so I've just kind of been sitting back and enjoying the view. We are at 7,000 roughly, and let's just quickly take a look at the approach. We're quickly descending down to 2,000 feet. We're heading for Judsey right now. Unfortunately, this approach wasn't actually, I couldn't actually program it into the GPS, not by actually choosing a procedure that existed. So I was able to manually put in the waypoints. So right now we're heading towards Judsey and descending down to 2,000, and then we'll head towards Zigad and turn onto Willis or Wireless, we will descend down to 1700 and shoot the OnAir approach into South Caicos. As mentioned before, overall it's a pretty beautiful day here. Partly cloudy, not much going on in terms of rain, so we have gotten tons of awesome views. I'm pretty much snapping pictures as much as I can and just enjoying these engine sounds, man. As I said, like, BlackBox Simulation has turned this plane into a winner for sure. This sounds absolutely, well, even more authentic if you ask me. So just descending, pretty much just going to be making a right turn, or like a base turn. I'm assuming we should be crossing the airport on our right. Not sure where it is though. This might be it out here, maybe. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Up there somewhere, I believe. Maybe like further out here. So South Caicos is an actual island in the kind of Turks and Caicos region. I don't know. I've heard about Turks and Caicos a lot, but I don't really know too much about it, to be honest. So according to Wikipedia, it's an archipelago of 40 low-lying coral islands in the Atlantic Ocean. It's a British overseas territory, so just like Bermuda, southeast of the Bahamas. So the gateway island of Providenciales, known as Provo, is home to expansive Grace Bay Beach with luxury resorts, shops, and restaurants. So brother needs to take a trip down to Turks and Caicos, see what's going on over there. It looks and sounds amazing. Population is roughly 38,000 as of 2019. So not overly populated over there, which is always a good thing when it comes to island life. Alright, so calculated the descent correctly. So we're just leveling off now at 2,000 feet, just shy of the Judas waypoint. Sorry, Judsey waypoint. So as I mentioned before as well, like the actual aircraft performance has been updated too. So it does take a little bit of getting used to. Like even just now doing the descent, I normally do full idle descent, and when I try to go full idle just now, the plane basically dropped below 100 knots, almost went to like 98, 80 knots on descent, which it didn't do before. So that's pretty interesting. I normally end up doing like 120, 130 knots when I'm descending, even doing idle. So definitely some changes there, and as well the trim sensitivity that's something that's been mentioned kind of across the board. I don't mind it too much. It hasn't affected the aircraft much for me. It's actually good to not have to put in so much trim inputs to get the airplane to do something, to like nose up and nose down. So it's a little more touchy than it was before, but I kind of welcome the increased sensitivity. So we are starting, well, we've started our well, we're on base right now, about to make the right turn onto final. So this is a good flight for me, coming back from my little 2-week break. I definitely think I'm going to do this again. The 2-week break, that is. Probably sometime soon, especially with work from home still in effect for the company that I work on. Well, I'm kind of hoping they just stick with work from home from now on, to be honest, or something close to it, because it just gives me so much more flexibility to do the stuff that I love to do, like travel around Canada and that sort of thing. I don't have to worry about taking vacation days every time I want to go somewhere. Alright, starting our base turn onto final now. And let's go down to 1700. See a full auto, how it's kind of dropping back down, and that's probably because we're kind of reached our altitude. But yeah, it's definitely a change in how the plane performs. It's a good change though. Airport is straight ahead. I'm going to try an arm approach mode and see if it actually picks up the glide path. Should be picking it up at this wireless waypoint. And I'm coming in pretty fast. I'm going to try and slow things down a little bit. Get that first notch of flap down. .5 nautical miles away from the waypoint. Just gonna watch my speed right now. So at takeoff flaps the moment, we'll get a full flaps once we capture the glide path. If we don't, then it's all good. It's like some trees are starting to spawn in over there. Not seeing anything for the glide path, so Let's disable autopilot. Get our trim sorted out, and going to this one pretty high. Interesting how this place looks. I know as part of the sim update, kind of the draw distance was changed a bit. Look at that water. Wow. Take a quick look outside. This was still a little high. Doing a nice clean 80 knots on final. Frame rates are absolutely buttery right now. Man, this feels good. Trying to trim out, get too red, too white if we can, but don't think that's gonna happen. Any low is gonna put us like dangerously close to the trees, so I'm gonna try and avoid that. Alright. Line up on center. Throttle to idle. Alright. OnAir did not like that landing. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to South Caicos, which looks a lot less beautiful than I thought it would. Flaps are going up, and strobes are off. Landing lights will come off as well. We don't need those anymore. So I'm just trying to figure out where the looks like the terminal might be at the end here. Yeah, that's where it is. think I see some marshals up there for that. So hard to taxi in a straight line for some reason. Alrighty. What happened to the little glow stick? Disappeared. To come off.
Engine off time log. Flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Alright, there's that famous annoying noise. Alright, continue. That noise when you... Whoop. Where'd they go? Okay. That noise when you've completed your level. So, I can switch everything off inside here. Nav lights will come off. You guys can come off. And I think that's it. Battery off. Alright, so let's take a quick look at OnAir. This is another weird thing I'm seeing with Sim Update 5. Every time I go back to the exterior view, like my camera's always wonky, so I gotta keep adjusting it. But small things though, small things. Alright, so if you just come inside here to OnAir, unfortunately, I got a negative reputation, change because at one point I was trying to like adjust the camera, and I think I pressed something on the keyboard and it started like changing the bank angle during flight. So lost a ton of reputation points for that. So sucks to be me. But as you can see, we've gotten to level 6 now, which means that I could officially execute my plan that I've been talking about for the past however long I've been talking about it. Feels like a while. So let's go to the skill tree. Alright. So as I mentioned before, one of the reasons why I couldn't hire any more pilots was because I didn't have this hiring agreement. So now I can go ahead and do that. And I got one extra point and I don't know what to do with it. Before I was going for the bank loan agreement, but I decided not to go the route of the bank loan. But I mean, I should probably still do it. So, but this one would be decent too. But I mean, this doesn't matter right now, so I don't have a big aircraft. But let's do the bank loan agreement as well. So now I should be able to hire more people, which is good. So I'll save that. Bang bing. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to purchase that CJ4, which I've always wanted. Well, you know what, actually, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to save that for later. But anyway, we're at level 6 now, so that's really where I've been trying to reach, because that opens up a lot for me. And there we go, that person driving around the airport. I hope you guys enjoyed this flight overall. Definitely, if you're interested, get this plane now. I think the last set of updates they've done to it has been absolutely amazing. So this plane is a pleasure to fly, and it sounds amazing. It sounds even better than it was before, and I liked it how it was before. Alright, so that's it. It's your boy Fly Island Guy. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. Make sure you continue to comment, like, and share all that good stuff, and I will catch you on the next video. Alright, I'm out. Peace.